Hi again, it's me, Cinnamon. I'm a 23-year-old working a corporate job who loves all things personal finance, especially budgeting, and today I'll be recapping my spending for March to set up my budget for April. So here's the breakdown of my income sources, and my total income for the month was $15,470.32. This is my gross income, and just to contextualize it, I paid $4,509.37 in taxes so far, and that left me with a net income of $10,960.95. Now to see how I signed everything through the month, if you look at all my categories, you'll see that I actually assigned $2,000 more than my income. And the reason for this is that I had a category with $2,000 available that I deleted, and that money went right back into my ready to assign. So I actually don't super love this because now the history of how I moved money around is a little hard to follow because that category's history of transactions was like deleted, right? Yeah, so my numbers aren't like completely looking the way I'm used to them looking, but I do have my old videos to reflect on when I'm trying to like make sense of how I got to a certain state of my budget. So that's a really fun thing actually about like recording your ynab sessions just like for yourself if you really like are interested in the weeds of what happens in your budget. Anyway, so I already went over what I put into taxes, and after that, I put $6,057.63 to investments. And you can see that I actually had way more activity in investments than what I put in. And that's because I wanted to make sure that this month I did not roll over any money in my investment categories because I want to do a quarterly update video and I want to make sure everything relevant to that quarter is like finished in that quarter. But here's a breakdown of my investments, and you can see that about two-thirds of what I invested went into my tax advantage accounts, and, or sorry, one-third went into my tax advantage accounts, and the other two-thirds went into my taxable brokerage, and that's broken down in these categories right now. So yeah, I just like to have a separate level of accounting from how much from my taxable brokerage is coming from my high yield savings account and how much is coming for cashback. So that's why this is separated out the way it is. Okay. Now to get into the actually like super important part to me, which is my spending categories. So right off the bat, you can see that this was a very high spend month for me. I spent $5,351.58. Let's compare that to February, where in total I spent $3,030.58. And that's like in total, including my rent and everything, which I usually leave out of these videos, but I'm going to put it in this one just to show like how much I fully spent to the month because it was just so astronomical to me seeing it all add up. So let's get into it. Starting small, the first thing I spent on was the hotel for my Miami trip. And some of the expenses for that trip are broken out into other categories because, let's see, I also have other sinking funds where I'm covering things for now. And then once the trip is over, I'm going to just delete that specific category and put it into my general sinking funds. But some things are general for now, like the annual fee for the credit card I got for the trip. And that was $395. And I don't remember if I said the price of the hotel was $110. And that's just the price so far because I know when I get to the hotel, there's going to be a resort fee and all of these other things. And that's also just for one night. Yeah, to contextualize all of that. But yeah, I got this travel credit card, and so far it's covered my flight for the trip entirely, and I have credits left over. But I'm pretty much just considering the annual fee as like the price of as part of the cost of this trip. Okay. What else did I spend on? A huge part of why I had so much spending, a huge part of my spending for my general sinking funds was for just giving to my friends and family. For starters, one of my friends got a new job and I took the three of us out to dinner and I paid for all of us, but there was actually a really good like Panda Express coupon on the app. It was just a Panda Express. She was craving Panda Express, so that is where we went, and it was $35 after like a 20% discount or something like really, really high. Also, I got a $107 gift for my other friend, and that was a scarf and a hat from this like Instagram brand. And I normally don't shop those kinds of brands. I honestly don't like shop that much, but the reason why I did splurge on this is because the name of the brand is actually very similar to their nickname, and the scarf and the hat has like the name of the brand printed, and there was just no way to get like a dupe of that, so I committed to it. I also did get myself a small gift this month. I bought a K-pop album. Not the one I've been wanting to buy, but it's still something I need. I don't really want to have like a thing I collect, but I'm falling into collecting these albums a little bit. But it's not going to last forever because these groups don't always come out with music. I just like to get the albums for one specific group, and they're not always going to come out with music. So the collection will be complete at a point. Okay, so I got that for myself. And the last set of things I did, which made up a huge portion of my spending, was $2,113.58 towards my good daughter category, which is all family related stuff. And that is because both of my parents have birthdays in March and I got them gifts, kind of. So, well, once I got my mom Uber Eats because she picked up an additional job to help pay off her credit card debt, and I was just sending her food at her job to be like, you go, girl. Um, and she also was involved in a charity thing for Ramadan. So I sent her $300 for the charity thing. There was a GoFundMe for it, but I decided to just send it to her directly so she doesn't have to deal with like GoFundMe's fees or anything. For my dad's birthday, I bought him his flight to the US to to come see us, and it's been so long since he's been here because of COVID. Or yeah, I'm not a big enough YouTuber to have to worry about saying COVID, so I will just say because of COVID. And that was $1,184.20. And it is so crazy to me how expensive these flights are because when I was younger, my dad would fly to see us like fairly regularly, like once every 2 years. And yeah, I just thought flying was kind of cheap because we weren't wealthy growing up. So I didn't really think it was something that was like this astronomically expensive, especially when you consider the conversion rates. Like he was really committed to seeing us. So I thought that was something I would do for him. And for my mom, I gave her $600 and she can do whatever she wants with it. And then I'm going to also at some point send $300 like directly to her credit card. I decided on that split because she's like working so hard on her debt. I was like, maybe it would be a better present to just like let her splurge or feel more free to splurge. So yeah, I don't know. That's just what I was thinking. It was really super cool. My parents were both just like so happy with their gifts and it feels like, yeah, this is like the point of kind of all the things I've been doing like financially, like why I got interested in learning about finances so much. And it feels like it's really paying off and it's positively impacting my family and my friends, but especially my family. Like they're like so important to me. So yeah, it was just like really nice to have that. So this is a high spend month, but like 100% in alignment with my goals and my dream life. So I just feel really like satisfied from all of the spending this month. Next, into just like my spending really just on myself, you can see that a lot of that was my rent, $1,700, and hanging out with people, $215.81. And again, it's just the usual, getting food usually. Is there anything here that's not getting food? Yeah, all of these things are related to getting food. But hanging out with people often has a food related component to it. A lot of the things like around us are kind of free in a way to do, like watching a movie at home or going on a hike or all of those things. So yeah. One thing that was really different about this month is that I hung out with my roommates a lot, and that was really nice. I eating out, and this is like eating out I do by myself, and I was very lucky, unlucky, and lucky because I ordered Uber Eats one, two, three, 4 times this month, which I think is good. I do like to have that at 0, but 4 times this month is honestly not bad. And one time I ordered, it was pretty messed up, so I got most of the food refunded, which was nice. That was a big help to the budget. So $119.70 there. Household utilities. A lot of the utilities I thought would come out didn't come out. Oh, God, having a budget is so crazy because it really reminds me of things that happened. I had an ant infestation, or I had an ant problem, so I had to get ant traps. It was the worst, actually. Like, I had a constant, like, paranoia that there were ants somewhere in my room, because the HOA has been skimping on pest control. And so I feel like they should reimburse me for this, but I'm not gonna bother. But yeah, that was something that happened. And like, if I did not have these budget recap videos, I would just forget because this was at the beginning of the month and it feels like forever ago. But that was a very, very real problem this month. Wow, what a throwback. Okay. So $93.69 on transportation, just Ubers, a lot of trips to the dentist. I'm finally almost done with all of like my treatment. Yeah. So I did have a surgery, like a minor surgery at the dentist. It was cutting my lip tie, and I haven't paid for that yet, so that will show up at some point. But yeah, just going to places, and I actually didn't need to pay for going to the taco festival because my friend could no longer go. She had had surgery, and so I got to give the ticket to my boyfriend, and he drove us. So that ended up saving me money. And it was a pretty good taco festival. But the lines were so long, like, it definitely rate limited all the food you could eat, which was probably by design. Okay, what is my next category? Groceries at $82.20. And a huge part of that is because I had some HelloFresh credits from when my friend used my code. And then I only got HelloFresh one more time. As you can see, I was eating out a bunch. And when you add up, like, my groceries, my eating out and my social activities. So that's like $200 plus $200, 400 plus $100, 500. I spent $500 on food, which is less than the $600 goal I have for myself. So even though I'm eating out a lot, I'm socializing a lot, and my budget for food isn't breaking down across groceries and eating out like I had planned because of my social life. It's still, like, really within my food budget now, a lot more than when I was Uber Eatsing, like, every day. So just getting rid of Uber Eats solved a lot of the problems for me, and I think, when my social life is busy, when it's less busy, I will really stick within, like, that $600 food budget naturally. So I feel really good seeing that. Okay, what else is going on here? My health insurance. I bought Crocs! Oh my god. I've been wanting a certain pair of Crocs for over a year. They were out of stock, like, you could only buy them in Saudi Arabia at this point, so I had to get a different variation, but it was such a good discount, I think is what yeah, I think I got a pretty good discount at $42, so I have Crocs, and very typical of me, I buy something, I don't even open the package for a while, so I haven't worn them at all, but I'm happy I got them on sale, and yeah, I buy things, but I don't really need them. So that was okay purchase. Do what else? My gym membership went up, which I'm very unhappy about, but I will be switching to the annual plan anyway, which will make my monthly payment average to $28. So $40 for the gym membership, legal insurance, and random things like Google storage and renter's insurance. I feel like I didn't say a lot of the numbers because saying numbers tires me out. But if you're watching on YouTube, you should be able to see all the numbers. And that is what I spent in a month. Woo. Very high, but honestly, I could not be happier. I feel like my budget is so in line with my goals. I don't know why I was Uber eating so much. It was making me miserable. Like, I can't even explain how much better I feel. just making that one change. I feel like making that one change and committing to it has like solved a lot of just like problems in my life and my routine. The one pro of it though, and that is going to get into my April budget, is that I really do like HelloFresh, but I have to basically decide a week in advance my meals for the next week, and I never know what my weeks are going to look like that far in advance. So sometimes I do end up wasting groceries. For some reason, wasting food is like the worst thing to me. It makes me so stressed when I waste food. I feel so bad, not even just because of the money, because even with wasting food, I'm still saving a bunch of money versus like what I was doing beforehand. But I don't know, I just hate wasting food. And I feel like I need to find something right now that is more flexible than HelloFresh because I really don't like wasting food. So that is something I want to figure out in April. Do, do, do. And yeah, to finish off my budget for April, I'm just going to take money out of my next month's holding category, assign it all where it needs to be. So I covered my main expenses and my discretionary spending, and all of this extra can go to my discretionary spending for now. And I'm going to rebalance the categories to make sure they're all where I want. So household utilities, I'm going to see what I paid for household utilities in February. That was about $200 because I didn't pay for this. I'm expecting to pay for this and internet. Right. So that's about $150. I might be fine on household utilities, actually. A little under, but I think I'll be fine if I get hit with everything this month. Was there anything last month I didn't get charged with? Yeah. No, last month was as expected. Okay, I'll leave that for now. Everything else, transportation is quite high. I'm going to drop it to the 120 because I don't really see myself leaving the house so much this month because I have a very big work project. So let's move it to discretionary. Groceries, high. Eating out, I'll also remove the excess to move that to discretionary. And what I do like about removing the excess this early on is that it just keeps me from, again, like overspending on food generally. Okay. Health insurance. Let's do assigned last month and assigned last month so I can already have those figured done. Okay. Um, this should be lower because I will not be paying $30 for the gym anymore. I might get a new Curology and I might just get miscellaneous things for the house. But I'll leave this building up a little bit. Nothing needed here, but I'll let it build up. Close, building up. Social activities, no build up. I have $654.90 of like extra spending money, and I actually won't put those to any categories here now because I know that I have a lot of sinking fund funding to do, and I think I'll use the $600. Hopefully, I'll have a huge chunk of this left over by the end of the month to cover my 2 flights that I'll need for New York. So, wow. I had a lot of rollover. I feel really good about it. I feel really good about the budget. Social activities will probably be over, but again, I'll just balance it out with groceries and eating out like I usually do. And yeah, I think that's it for the budget. I'm quite happy with where things are right now, and I'll also end up getting these 2 categories reimbursed, which will give me an extra $265 to put towards my sinking fund. So if I really stick to these numbers, I should be on track to at least finish off my 2 trips. If I really stick to my numbers, I should be on track to finish off paying for my 2 trips. I'll put this down here since it should all be covered. I think I can delete this category now. Oh yeah, I'm going to delete it later so I can go through that one transaction. These should be deleted soon. And that's all. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a good start to the new month. Bye.